Um, Also being joined right now by Arjun Kapoor. Hi, Arjun. Everyone in the studio is here, but really getting together for the cause of trying to create awareness about cancer and also to try and understand this. Now, Arjun, maybe you could tell us about your experiences as your mother battled cancer, and despite every effort, eventually you were rendered helpless.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Arjun Kapoor here, and I'm here to give you a slight insight, if I can call it that, into my experience dealing with this disease that genuinely just creeps up on you when you have no idea. I think doctors, people have been trying to find cures and solutions to all the different kinds of cancers that exist within society today. But if you find a little bit, it catches up on you and it spreads all over. So I have dealt with it very, very individually, very, very personally with my mother, who I lost to cancer. And I lost her to cancer within a year of us finding out about the disease, even though the doctors at that point had said she might have 5 to 7 years of life still left in her. And that primarily, unfortunately, the span of life reduced because she could not cope with the exhaustion that the disease gave her. It had nothing to do with her will and ability to fight. She was a very strong woman.
Right, Arjun. Just wanted to understand from you, what do you think, we've been trying to spread certain amount of awareness. What do you think, at the end of the day, medical fraternity obviously is doing whatever it can with cancer patients, but some of the awareness, how does that actually help in one cancer patient probably has a lot of messages that can be taken to others as well, and examples that can be taken from each other?
Honestly, there aren't enough doctors here, there aren't enough beds, there aren't enough people to give love. Where my mom was concerned, doctors aren't allowed to get emotional, I understand that. And when you're at a hospital, it's not about feeling loved, it's about getting your medication or your chemotherapy and going home. But I do feel it goes a long way when you feel connected to people, or you get to be in a space like a hospital where it doesn't feel like a hospital. That creates an environment of positivity. Every time my mother went to the hospital, she used to die to just come back home. Whereas the best place for her to be taken care of would be the hospital. So an environment, or maybe just specialists or a special hospital that is created, and it should not be on the basis of who's richer and poorer. I think we have this conditioning in the medical fraternity and in our country and in the world, where the less needy get better service and the more needy get the worst service possible. I think we have to find a middle ground somewhere. In the medical fraternity, at least, I know economically and socially that will struggle, but medical fraternity is someplace where you can bridge that completely. You can create an all equal kind of hospital environment, especially for a disease like this, where nobody should feel just because I'm poor, I'm not going to be able to get saved, or just because I can't afford the perfect medicines. I don't think that should have any context when it comes to any disease for that matter. And I just hope and pray that there reaches a point where health insurance, Medicare, all that is equalized for each and every person in our country. I know I've suffered a loss which I cannot quantify, but I know those feelings did go through my mind. Whenever I did go to the hospital with my mom, I always wondered about all those other people that couldn't afford to. She still didn't make it, but imagine how many people who can make it don't get a chance to even reach a doctor because they can't afford it.